All right, let me go back to Kevin Stefanski,
Yes.
who spoke at the awards banquet last night. What would you expect or hope him to say if he did meet with Odell Beckham Jr. today? You assume he's seen enough film on him to see what he did in the season.
It's hard for a guy who just got hired and he hasn't been a head coach in the league, but if I were Stefanski, I'd take my chances. I'd roll the dice with it and say, Odell, you're either in or you're out. You're either in with us as a team and you subjugate your ego and you subjugate your individuality, or you're not with us. And that doesn't mean that you have to be muzzled. It just means that your top priority has to be the Cleveland Browns and not OBJ.
Do you think that his definition of what that means is different than Stefanski's definition?
Well, I'm not.
When you say
I don't want to put
us,
words in Stefanski's mouth. He might not even do that. He might just say, Odell, be whoever you are. If I were in Stefanski's shoes, that's what I would do, is say, Odell, you got to fall in line with the team. You can't be an individual. Odell's counter to anyone who would say that, including me, is, look, you get me, you get the OBJ, the character, the shoes, the visor, everything else, the watch, the pants, but I'll give you production in the end. I still don't think that's enough, though, in the NFL where so many guys need to be pulling on the same rope at the same time in order for you to succeed. And I think that an individual, a guy who's all about himself, is not going to help you get there. And therefore, that's why I would say to Odell, look, you got to prioritize team.
What if Stefanski takes a stand and says, those OTAs, I know that they're not mandatory. I'm not saying it's mandatory, but it's mandatory. You better be there. Would you do that? Or hope he would? Wouldn't you hope he'd come to his understanding that he should be there?
Yeah, and here's what I sense. Assuming the meeting went off, I sense that Stefanski says to him, we know you're talented. Even when you were banged up, you scratched out 1,000 yards.
Right.
You were hamstrung by, Freddie. Well, he wouldn't say Freddie Kitchens directly, but he would speak in general terms. You were hamstrung by the play calling, by the system, by the scheme. I'm coming in here willing to give you a fresh start. I'm not going to come in with preconceived notions about what you did and how you did it and all the stuff that seemed to follow you. And he can also say, look, I came from
So I know how to do it.
Production. Yeah, we had Diggs and we had Thielen. So we have room here, even though we're going to be running the ball and we're going to emphasize tight ends, we have room for the receivers to get theirs.